Alofa, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for today's Events the Samoan Way webinar. We're very excited to have you joining us to talk about all the fantastic events and activities your clients can join when visiting the Treasured Islands. To start off, if this is your first time joining us for a webinar, please remember that you are on mute, but if you do need to communicate with us at any time, there is a chat functionality in the chat box on your screen. Please feel free to enter anything in there and we'll respond to you throughout the webinar. If you do have questions, we will be answering them live at the end of this session, and you're able to enter those at any time during the webinar in the question box. Also, this webinar will be recorded and placed online and on YouTube, so it will be very easy for you to view and share with any other interested parties in your office or with any consumers looking to head down to Samoa and wanting to learn a bit more about the events. I will follow up with that as well in a follow-up email, so I'll give you the direct link to the recording, so no worries about having to write anything down or remember a long email, URL address. To kick off, we'll start with where is Samoa? So you'll see here an air accessibility map. So Samoa is the red country right between New Zealand and Hawaii. We are about a 5.5 hour flight from Honolulu, about an hour and a half from Nadi in Fiji, 4 from Auckland, and about 5.5 from Sydney. So we're ideally located in the heart of the South Pacific. So if clients are looking to do a larger itinerary, we do have some fantastic accessibility with neighboring countries and islands. Currency and visa, Samoa does have its own currency. It is the very colorful Samoan tala. Currently with the US exchange rate with the dollar, you're looking at about 2.5 Samoan tala to $1 US. So it's a great exchange rate, definitely in favor of your clients traveling. In terms of visas, clients do have a valid passport. No preset visa is required. They'll just arrive into the country, get a nice stamp in their passport at no cost, and they're able to enjoy their vacation. Very easy to get to Samoa. Here you'll see our two main islands, the big island of Savaii and the island of Upolu. Now, Upolu is where your clients would fly in. You'll see the airport just at the northwest tip of the island, and the capital of Apia right in the center of the north there. It is about a 25-minute drive from the airport to the capital. The islands are quite large. To get around Upolu, generally it's about 3 hours around the whole island, and Savaii is about 5. But that means there's a lot to explore along the way. Beautiful coastline and beaches, fantastic waterfalls, and we'll dive in now and show you a bit of what your clients can do in the destination. So of course, cultural events are aplenty, and we'll touch on a couple of really fantastic scaled events that your clients can visit. But of course, if they are in Samoa, definitely recommend they check out a Fia night, which is the cultural evenings held at many of the resorts and accommodations. Really spectacular. The fire knife dancing is magnificent. It's really well done. Brilliant there. Also, relaxation is key in Samoa. If you have clients looking to really get off the radar, unplug, enjoy a relaxing trip, Samoa is a great place to do that. A great place to relax after doing an event as well. If your clients are out swimming, maybe biking or running, great way to spend the next day is to get a nice massage and relax with the beautiful scenery. Romance is always just a step away in Samoa as well. As being an island destination, it's great to combine a little bit of relaxation, some romance, and some activity in a trip. In the water, there's no shortage of activities, whether it be snorkeling, diving, kayaking, swimming with turtles. There really are quite a few different options there. Heading into the interior, you have a very lush tropical landscape with beautiful waterfalls, hiking trails, canopy walks. So there's quite a lot to do inland as well. If clients don't want to spend all of their time at the beach and they want to see a bit more of the destination, there is quite a bit to see. Fantastic markets as well with local textiles, produce. There's a fish market, so definitely recommend clients get in there and get a bit of the local flavor. The Robert Louis Stevenson Museum is also located just outside of Apia. is actually his home that they've converted into a museum. So it's a fantastic historical and cultural visit in Samoa as well. They have multiple volumes of his novels, such as Treasure Island, which was actually based on Samoa and written while he lived there. But today you can find Treasure Island in multiple volumes in languages from all around the world. Being in the South Pacific and being an island destination, there are no shortage of spectacular beaches. This is Lalomanu Beach. This is one of Samoa's most famous and popular beaches. The one great thing about it, though, is even though it's quite a popular beach, you don't have to worry about crowds. It's very much a nice, pristine beach. Insert maybe 5 to 10 other people at any given time, and that's how crowded the beach gets. So it really is a very special destination. For those clients looking for a bit more adventure, I highly recommend you send them to the Tausua Ocean Trench. Now this is a 90-foot or 30-meter ocean trench that is tidal flow, so the water is actually coming in from the ocean. So it's quite a unique experience, spectacular views from down in the trench, and of course from the top looking down as well. There are blowholes around the big island of Savaii, especially with these lava fields. Really fun day out. Locals will take you out to experience the blowholes in all their glory with some coconuts shooting out like cannons. It's quite a fun experience. Your clients will definitely enjoy the local flavor out in this area. In terms of accommodation, just quickly, here's a couple of our premier accommodations. Of course, Coconuts is currently the only property in Samoa with overwater bungalows, really well appointed. Sinalei, just next door, has a gorgeous overwater restaurant and a fabulous spa. And you may be familiar with Aggie Gray's. That's now a Sheraton property. So if you have any clients that like to travel with Starwood, this does open up a new destination for them, which is fantastic. A few other top properties you can see here, such as Tanoa, Tusitala, Seabreeze, Angareef, Leilangoto, Levasa, and Siufanga. All really highly recommended, fantastic experiences for your clients. All are slightly different. Locations vary, but all guaranteed to give your clients a full, robust Samoan experience. But with that, without any further delay, we're going to dive right into the event side of Samoa. So we have with us Seti, and he is the owner of and president of Samoa Events, and they help coordinate fantastic international events in Samoa itself. So without any further delay, I'm actually going to hand it over to him, and he can walk you through some of the great events that your clients can head down to Samoa and experience. Seti, over to you.
Half day, Amanda. Thank you very much, and greetings to North America, the USA, and Hawaii and Alaska. Thank you for joining the webinar today. I'm speaking to you from the Samoa Tourism Office here in Apia, and I'm delighted to present to you what we have been doing in the last 3 years. Samoa International Events, we started in 2011 with a swim. We do quite a few things. Now let me just... This is our schedule for this coming year. This is 2015, and this is the international schedule. We've already got the local events up and running, started a few weeks ago. But starting in April, which is your spring, starting in April, we have the Anzac Challenge. Now, the Anzac Challenge is a swim-run event. So it's an off-road race, actually, a swim in the harbour and a run up the mountain. And it coincides with celebration of the New Zealand, Australia Marine Corps, Army Marine Corps, from the First World War, when they were up in Gallipoli in Turkey there. So this year we're celebrating 100 years of that, and we have an Anzac Challenge which will simulate some of the challenges that the soldiers at that time faced. So it's a swim, and then we're running up a mountain in uncharted territory. So that's in April this year. We've got the 5 Islands Swim Challenge. There are several islands dotted around Apolu and Savaii, and around Apolu there are 5 islands around Apolu, and there will be a slide later on just so you can see the distances between those islands. But varying in distances from 1.7 kilometers, which is a 1 mile, to about 3 miles offshore. And the challenge, these 5 islands, is a swim to and back. So that is happening in May, which is a new event for us. Then we have the Lalomanu Half Marathon later on in the year. And we have the Warrior Race, which is our half Ironman event. And you'll see a few slides about that soon. We have the Pacific Open Water Challenge, which is a swim as well. It's a 10-kilometer and a 5-kilometer challenge. They are 2 days of swimming back to back, and you must do the 10 and the 5Ks in consecutive days, not one or the other. That is the challenge. And straight after the Pacific Open Water Challenge, we have the Samoa Swim Series, which is 3 great swims in 3 days and sort of quite a lesser distance from the 10 and the 5Ks. We also have a Ford Cycle Challenge, which is 400 kilometers in 4 days. So it's about 100 kilometers a day, and you'll see a slide on that as well. And then a new event for us this year is the stand-up paddleboard, or the SUP. That's quite sort of popular now around the world, and we have quite the right climate in around about September, October. So we're putting that up late September this coming year. And of course, we have the Events Race coming up as well. So the Samoa Swim Series is what we started with 3 years ago. This picture of me and the swimmers from New Zealand, Australia, and also some from the United States of America. So they're here in this picture. So the numbers are around about 150 people that come to the Samoa Swim Series. The swim series this year is on in August, 6th to the 8th of August. And we will get quite a few swimmers again from New Zealand and Australia. Probably 80% will come from New Zealand, about 15% will come from Australia, and 5% will come from the west coast of America, of the USA. We already have bookings from Texas, the great state of Texas, for this year's series, and also from San Francisco. So we're very happy about that, and we're hoping for more. Slide. All right. Here's a picture of the Samoa Swim Series. It's not just about swims, actually. There's a lot more in the swim series than pure swimming. This is the beginning of the swim series. We have a parade through town with the police band leading us to an opening, often addressed by our Prime Minister. So by the Honourable Prime Minister, who is the Minister of Tourism here in Samoa. And in the picture here, you can see, I can point to about half of that crowd and say, those people have been back 3 or 4 times now. Actually, I see somebody who's been here 4 times, and most of the others have been here 3 times. So the point of that is Samoa Swim Series is quite a good product. People really enjoy it, and they have a lot of fun. And in addition to the swimming, we get to mix and mingle with people from all over the world. Then we have what we call the Warrior Race. This is a picture of downtown Apia. Very nice shot there of Sam Warriner, our winner in the women's division in our first half Ironman event. This is 2 years ago. The Warrior Race has 2 distances. The main distance is the half Iron event, and this is the bike leg around Apia before we shoot out to the big hills of the villages 40 and 50 kilometers away. So the Warrior Race this year is on the 1st of August, which is actually the week before the swim series. And the reason we're placing the two events so close together is really purely by demand, by the request from our competitors that they want to come and do both events. They used to be 2 weeks apart, but now they are close together. This is another shot actually of the ride out away from Apia on the coastal road on the north coast, away from Apia to the big hill at the end, at the turnaround point, and coming back along the same way. So it's a magnificent scene, and we get the villagers involved, and they are part of the race. This is Lalomanu. You saw a slide earlier that Amanda presented of the beach at Lalomanu. So on one side of Lalomanu, you've got the beautiful, pristine beach, and on the other side, you've got these magnificent, gorgeous, amazing cliffs. So this is the Lalomanu Half Marathon, and really we couldn't take 2 pictures of the beach and the cliffs together, but we're presenting you the cliffs right just by the beach there. So we have a magnificent backdrop to the Lalomanu Half Marathon, which is in July. And again, a lot of people come through. Oh, there it is. There's a shot of the beach at Lalomanu. So on the one side, you've got the cliffs. On the other side, you've got magnificent sea. And a beautiful shot there of one of our locals running in that particular race. So the Lalomanu Half Marathon this year is on the 11th of July. Now, I know that's quite in the middle of summer in the USA. This is a picture of the Fourth Samoa Cycle Challenge, which is a different event. It's a 4-day event, about 100 kilometers of cycling every day, and these are the types of bikes that they use. So they are tri and racing bikes, and so you can imagine that with these kind of roads and these kinds of scenery, it's actually a very, very nice event. And last year was the first year for that particular event, and we're repeating it this year. This event is in September, the 16th to the 19th of September, and at the end of 4 days, you will have cycled around the island at speed, staying at some beautiful sites such as this. So the cycle race. Now I want to now focus on the American influence in our events. This is Linda Kaiser from Hawaii. She's a Waterman Hall of Famer, so that's like the Hollywood Hall of Fame for swimmers. She lives in Hawaii, and she has swum all the channels around Hawaii. I think there's 9 channels, including the Molokai Channel. And she was here a couple of years ago in our swim, and that's a magnificent shot of Linda Kaiser at the Tafa Tafa swim 2 years ago. And Linda is she's in touch with us all the time, and she's looking to come back. I don't think she's coming back this year, but certainly she's looking to come back in the next year or the year after. So we are looking forward to having Linda back. And as I said, we do have some bookings already from the West Coast, from San Fran, and from the great state of Texas for this year's series. 2 years ago with Linda, she came with quite a big group of people, of her friends, and so we had the pleasure of hosting quite a few from Hawaii, from the state of Hawaii, actually also from LA when Linda came 2 years ago. Now, this is the 5 Islands Challenge, which is a new event for us, and you can see there the picture of Upolu and the dots around the place. So the 5 Islands Challenge involves swimming to those yellow spots and back. So the first one, Manono on the top left, is going to be a 7.4 kilometer swim. The next one, which is at the bottom of the screen, it's going to be a 4 kilometer swim. And on the right there, the 3 dots there, there's 3 islands just off Lalomanu, the famous Lalomanu. We've already talked about that with the half marathon, and also there was a slide earlier at the beach at Lalomanu. And so all those swims involve swimming to those islands, which is beyond the safety of the reef, and back. So that's a new event for us this year. And the reason it's important for us, this particular event, and its placement in May, 6th to the 9th of May, is because it's a bit closer to the American season, to the US season. I know that come June, July, August, September, you have summer anyway, and you have lots of events all around the place, triathlons and swimming, and the same things that we're doing. But we're starting to place events now in April and May, so that that's the start of your in the springtime for you, the start of spring, so that those who can be training for big events such as the Kona Marathon, Kona Ironman, and so on, could look at Samoa as a place to really kick off their summer program. So that's the reason why we're starting and beginning to place events around about April, May. Now the next slide. So the 5 Islands Challenge this year, it's going to be exciting. And this is the last final slide of my presentation. This is Steve Gurney. Steve Gurney is a well-known adventurer racer. So he races quite a few events around the world, and I think he's quite famous, actually, maybe more famous in New Zealand and Australia than in the USA. But we run some events with Steve, and we're looking to develop more of the off the beaten track adventure racing to highlight and to showcase some of the amazing places that we have around here in Upolu and in Savaii and in our islands, the treasures islands of the South Pacific. That is my presentation today. Thank you very much for listening. I look forward to looking after some of your clients in Samoa over the next few years, so if not this year. Thank you for your time, and thank you for listening in tonight.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. I hope that gave all of you listening a great overview of all the active activities and events that your clients can head to Samoa and participate in. With that, I'm going to hand it over to our next presenter. We have Hesed joining us from the Samoa Tourism Authority, also calling in from Apia, and he's going to touch on some of the fantastic cultural events that your clients can head down to Samoa to experience. So over to you.
Thank you very much, Amanda. That was also a presentation from my colleague Seti in Samoa. I'd like to welcome and say talofa once again. Warm greetings from the treasured islands of the South Pacific, Samoa. As Seti has touched on a few other events, I'll just be touching on the events in which the Samoa Tourism Authority and what's happening here in Samoa. It's a beautiful day here in the capital Apia with the sun out and shining beautifully, and it's great to have you online with us so we can share with you the exciting events that we have planned for this year. And we assure you that 2015 is looking like it's going to be a fun-filled year with everything that's happening in Samoa. Let me take you through a few of the events on behalf of the state that will be taking place in 2015. Samoa in 1962 became the first country in the South Pacific to gain independence. So this year, 2015, marks Samoa's 53rd independence anniversary. The Independence Day celebrations always begin with the prayer and, of course, the raising of the Samoan flag before the Independence Day parade. This is followed by cultural performances throughout the day, and this year's Independence Day promises to be an exciting celebration not to be missed. Since it was established in 1991, Samoa's Teuila Festival has grown to become one of Samoa's most celebrated events that is being done annually, and one of the South Pacific's biggest cultural festivals that we have ever come to see. The Teuila Festival is a week-long celebration and a showcase of the Samoan culture, and this year will run from the 6th to the 12th of September. 2015 marks the 25th annual Teuila Festival and is sure to be a very exciting festival. The exciting variety ensure there is something for everyone, with activities including a choral exhibition, traditional Siva Samoa or Samoan dances, and contemporary dance competitions, the Chief's Fia, Polynesian Spectacular, Ailao Afi or Fine Life Dancing, the Umu or the traditional Samoan ground oven, tattooing and carving demonstrations, Miss Samoa Pageant, and much, much more. And that will be all done during the Teuila Festival, as I mentioned, in the first week of this year, September, which will be coinciding with the Commonwealth Youth Games. The annual Miss Samoa Pageant is a hallmark event representing an appreciation of the beauty and essence of a Samoan woman, or Tamaitai Samoa, and celebrating the richness of Samoa's heritage and culture. The entrants are expected to emerge as role models for the younger generation to represent a variety of professions, attitudes, skills, and interests, and also to be spokeswomen for the Samoan culture. Ultimately, the delegates personify the combination of beauty and intelligence that define the Samoan lady of the 21st century. The pageant sets out to accomplish this by encouraging, motivating, and guiding the delegates in promoting their Samoan beauty, culture, costumes, and performing arts. This is also an integral event for tourism, as it aims to boost the tourism industry, promote and reflect the Samoan culture, and strengthening friendships with the outside world. The winner of the Miss Samoa pageant then goes on to represent Samoa at the Miss Pacific Islands pageant. As you can see now on this slide, she is Latafale Auva'a, our reigning and current Miss Samoa, who is also the Miss Pacific Islands, in which we are now holding that title for this year since 2014. So, and there you have it, Latafale Auva'a, our beautiful reigning Miss Samoa. Talking about the Commonwealth Youth Games, as I mentioned a while ago, that will coincide with this year's Teuila Festival. I'm clicking on the slide. Amanda, if you could just, thank you very much. 2015 Youth Games will be the 5th Commonwealth Youth Games, which started in 2000 and will be held here in Samoa using our very modernized and new technology of grounds and sports complexes. We're expecting more than 1,000 athletes during this time. The Commonwealth Youth Games will coincide with this year's Teuila Festival, and it promises to be an exciting and fun-filled week to be here in Samoa. So come on over. Just looking at our calendar of events, as you can see, I mentioned only a few of the events hosted by the government of Samoa this year. But there's plenty more happening on the island, as our friend Setia 4 has alluded to, from swim series and festivals to Ironman competitions, music festivals to international rugby matches. And speaking of international rugby matches, today began the Marist Samoa International Sevens for 3 days, and we have some international icons of rugby here in Samoa, not only from New Zealand, Australia, and Fiji, and also referees such as Fiji's well-known James Polambiu, and of course South Africa's Rasta Rasivange, who is well-known referee within the International Rugby Board's 7th Circuit, as well as 15-a-side. So for more information relating to what I mentioned before, please visit our website, www.samoa.travel, and email us as well if you wish to, and contact Samoa Tourism Authority's events coordinator, my colleague Christian Scanlon, on email christian@samoa.travel. Thank you very much. That's my presentation for today. Whaftai.
Great, thank you so much. So as you can see from all the events we've talked about today, Samoa, there really is no shortage of activities for your clients, especially if they are heading down during that time, May to October. In that time frame, there's quite a few international events for you to experience and to share with your clients. With that, I'd like to open it up to any questions. As mentioned at the beginning, please feel free to enter them into the question box, and we'll be sure to answer them now. We did have one question just in terms of seasonality, and I'm happy to address that one. So we were asked if there is a wet or cool or dry season. So in Samoa, the best time for your clients to head down there is really that May to October time frame, which coincides beautifully with all these fantastic events. The reason being, year-round, you are looking at about 86 degrees Fahrenheit outside and about 77 degrees Fahrenheit in the water. The main difference being May to October, you do have that lower humidity level. Moving from November to about April, you will have what we call the wet season, so you will experience some rain. But it's similar to clients that may have gone to Hawaii, and you get that rain, and then the sun does come out. So that just gives you an overview of seasonality. But as mentioned, it does coincide very well with any events, any school holidays if you have clients traveling with children. Otherwise, the seasons, kind of the shoulder seasons, are a great time to head down there as well. That April, May, or October, November time are also a great time to get there. We did have another question on agents if they'd like to book their clients into these fantastic experiences. And Seti, I think this is more geared toward you. If a client wants to come down for one of the events, are they able to contact you and coordinate everything through you for the event? Are there any special packages that clients would need to be aware of?
Great question, and the answer to that is, yeah, we handle everything, sometimes including the airfare. We handle all the accommodation, all the entry fees, and all you need to do is hop on the plane and get here. We have packages on our websites available to be for you to look at and see what fits. SamoaSwimSeries.com and SamoaWarrior.com. Those are the major websites for our events. Have a look at those, and then you can your clients will be able to see the packages available to be purchased through us.
Perfect. So it looks like that's all the questions we have for the moment. On the screen now, you'll see all of our contact details. So starting off, we have myself, Amanda Ladd with the Samoa Tourism Authority. I'm your main go-to contact for North America. My email's on the screen as well as my phone number if you do have any questions. Of course, we We mentioned Christian, who is the events coordinator at Samoa Tourism based in Apia. You'll also see his email. And of course, we have Seti with Samoa Events. So if you have clients heading down, you want to book them a trip to any of these major events, you can book it through Seti and of course provide it to your clients. Again, if you have any questions, please do email us. We're happy to follow up. Otherwise, I will be sending you an email in the next day or two with the recorded webinar URL, as well as any follow-up materials from our presenters as well. With that, I'd like to thank everyone very much for joining us, and especially Haset and Seti joining us from Apia in Samoa. Thank you very much for coming to North America for this webinar today. I hope everyone has a fantastic rest of their Wednesday.
Thank you.